I was getting frustrated enough to just sell the property, and then I'll distribute money at my convenience to them when it's convenient.
Wait. Rewind. You just said that you were going to sell the property on your own, and then you were just going to give the funds the way you saw
Janelle
it?
had suggested that. She's
Watching this show, it really gets hard to be, neutral. It really does. You end up taking sides because at the end of the day, Robyn and Kody, I don't understand their ulterior motive behind them sort of wanting the NDA one and them trying to throw the ladies under the bus. These women left after giving you everything you wanted. You got half of Coyote Pass, you got, McMansion, and you sold McMansion into McCottage. So the audacity and the idea that you're suddenly sort of pitching them against one another doesn't make sense. I think they don't like the idea that suddenly Meri is getting along with Janelle after all the seasons of being told that they couldn't see eye to eye, they can't do anything together, they're always fighting. So this, I think, is why this rumor started. And for Meri, I'm happy that she has Jen to support her. She really does need Jen to support her. I wish Janelle, though, would be more vocal and let us know exactly what happened, unless it's been edited out. Anyway, hey there, thanks for stopping by. It's your girl Valerie. Welcome to my channel. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe, click the like button, turn on the notification bell for when I upload new videos, and definitely leave a comment. In this episode, I'll be reviewing Sister Wives, Season 20, Episode 16, the first part of the tell-all. I found it a bit awkward to watch. I found it very awkward to watch in the sense that we had everyone preparing to sort of go for the tell-all. So we had Kody and Robyn. Kody had, piles and piles of clothes, and he was saying he hasn't decided on what he's going to wear, but he's still packing everything so that, he is prepared. Meri was going with Jen because Jen was invited, and I think this is because of the whole fallout between Meri and Kody about the Jen situation. So as they were preparing to go, they stopped for coffee, and Meri had a conversation with Jen, and we find out that apparently Kody phoned her and said he wanted to apologize for the fact that they'd been trying to sell the Coyote Pass behind her back. This is what I think. I'll go into detail later, but this is just an assumption on my part. I have a feeling after his chat with Meri, Kody went back to Robyn and told Robyn what had transpired. And then Robyn sort of finding out what had happened during their conversation, because Meri says they had a 2-hour conversation after filming. I think this is why the two of them decided to come up with the story that Janelle was trying to sell Coyote Pass behind Meri's back. That way they could put a divide between Janelle and Meri. And so this is why Kody phoned back to apologize, because it doesn't make sense that if this had transpired before he went to apologize to Meri, why didn't he apologize about it then? He must have gone back home, they must have had a meeting, and then they decided that this is what they're going to run with so that they could divide Meri and Janelle. You had Christine. Christine was going with David, so they got themselves ready. They tried to take one of their little razor trucks or whatever they call it, and then they changed. They got into the van. On his part, David and Christine, well, David was excited to go because he has a lot of things he wants to get off his chest. So he's hoping that this time Christine doesn't interfere, and he's hoping that he gets the opportunity to speak. I wish Christine would give him that chance, unless there are things she's worried he might say. In that case, they need to have a meeting like Kody and Robyn before they leave, decide what they're going to discuss and what they're not going to discuss, and then they go. They did take one of their David's trucks, and then they came back and they changed into a different truck. And they really seemed happy and at peace. Janelle was saying goodbye to Maddie. She was going on her own. And she spoke about the fact that she feels the need to defend herself because she feels like she's being thrown under the bus. So she cannot sort of attest to what Kody said, but she can only speak up on what she said, so that, she can clear her name in regards to this, Janelle was trying to sell Coyote Pass behind Meri's back. Anyway, we get to the to the tell-all. Suki is still hosting it. I wish they had someone who had a bit more bite. Maybe Andy Cohen should have come out, because at the end of the day, I feel like Kody and Robyn are getting away with a lot and are just being allowed not to answer any questions. Sadly, my pictures might not align with what I'm saying because it's too many things for me to sort of. There's a lot of overlap, so my pictures will be all over the place. Anyway, so you start off with Kody. He's the first one who's asked. You have Suki asked, do you have a hidden talent? talent. He said, to run his mouth, and then he starts laughing, and then he said he walks on his hands. He said because it's very difficult, not many people can do that. Well, good for you. Meri said juggling, and she says juggling multiple personalities. She feels she's good at that. At the moment, she feels like she's juggling. I think she's just trying to say that she's not being her authentic self because of the fact that she has this allegiance to the family, even though she's left the way, but she's very protective of them. That's the impression that I get. Janelle said she played the piano, or she plays the piano. She said her mom got her into piano lessons as a child, and she sort of did that for a very long time. Robyn said she's a break dancer. If that's breakdancing, it reminds me of that Australian lady from the Olympics. So hey, to each their own. Christine said she sings like Snow White. She did try her best. She did try her best, and so that's all you can do. She did try. Some of it was off key, but she tried her best. So the tell-all starts, and we have Meri be the first one to sit down with Suki. They bring out Jen. I'm happy Jen came out first because at the end of the day, Meri always is politically correct. She tries not to say anything that will upset the family. So I'm happy that we have someone else come out and actually speak on her behalf, because it doesn't make sense that we're having to have these chats that Meri won't sort of say anything to defend herself most of the time. So we get to see a clip of Robyn and Kody at Coyote Pass. They are going through, their conversation about Robyn saying that the other wives came there and sort of iced them out. And it's like, what do you mean they iced you out? They came out, they got out of their cars when they initially arrived and waited for you to come, and you didn't come. So I'm happy that Jenny provided clarity and said that they were waiting for an hour before Kody and Robyn arrived. It was freezing cold. So they wanted these people waiting out in the cold for an hour to run out, jump out of their cars as soon as they come out and run after them. As whom? As whom? I have a feeling that Robyn and Kody saw themselves as doing Meri and Janelle a favor by giving them a share of Coyote Pass, even though they paid the majority of the money. That's the impression that I get. I feel like they feel like Meri and Janelle are indebted to them and should have been sort of begging them to do whatever they wanted, because it doesn't make sense as to why they would feel some type of way about Meri and Janelle sitting in their cars after waiting for them for an hour. We have the conversation between Janelle and Meri, where Janelle is sort of talking about the shy, pretty wife. Kody says, my wife is, it has the little girly games. And it's like Robyn is the master manipulator at the end of the day. She came into this family with a plan. She wanted to be a celebrity. She wanted to be on TV. She wanted a lifestyle. And she left this family with it. Because when she came in, she was a single mom. She was broke. She had no money. And she left the family with a cottage, with half of the proceeds from Coyote Pass and the husband. So tell me, who is the biggest game player? Who is the biggest girly to play them games? Make it make sense. I don't get it, and I don't understand. I love that Jen was able to speak up and sort of be defensive over her friend, that these people are trying to make out that they are the victims in this situation, that when they're not. You had, Janelle be asked about the girly game. She said, she was just having a moment with Meri. And Meri, because Meri is sort of upset with Janelle for letting her down. We saw the clip of her saying, Janelle at least is looking out for my best interest. So for Meri, she doesn't want anything to do with Janelle because she feels betrayed by Janelle, that Janelle went behind her back and tried to sell Coyote Pass as Kody's trying to sell to everyone. It's interesting that Kody is trying to make it seem like Meri is the villain, irregardless of the fact that he went and he apologized to her. He's trying not to say anything bad about Jen, because he's asked, about the girl games and the fact that, they're having this conversation, and he brings up the fact that, Janelle and Meri were playing girl games, and he was talking about Meri's friend, and then he said, I'm not allowed to talk about Meri's friend because Meri will take me, to the upper floors. And it's like, Kody, please stop. You make it seem as though you're afraid of Meri when you've treated Meri badly. You're afraid of the things that she'll say, how she'll out you. That's it. Not because she's going to do anything to physically harm you. So please stop that nonsense. And I wish she had been called out for that. For Robyn to say these women are trying to assess why Kody loves me and why they are where they are in their own space. She more or less implied that these women are struggling with the fact that Kody has moved on from them, and so they are trying to understand why he's still with me and what it is about me that he likes. And it's like, I don't get it. These women packed their bags, left Kody for you, and you're still not happy. You still have to find an excuse as to why you are behaving the way that you're behaving. Make that make sense? I didn't like it. I didn't like her little comment. I thought it was very insensitive, given how much these women have sacrificed for her to have the life that she has. Janelle spoke about her conversation, talking about how Robyn was very pretty and she was very shy and she couldn't, talk to Meri because she was very shy about selling of Coyote Pass. No, she felt guilty. That's it. She felt guilty, and Robyn and Kody won't own up to that because they used Meri in order for Kody to sort of bring Robyn into the family. And once they brought her into the family, they used Meri to give Robyn the legal marriage on the pretext that Kody wanted to adopt the children. So please stop and make it make sense. Meri, on her part, is very upset. She feels betrayed, and so she says, yes, it was girl games that she, the conversation she had with Janelle when they were sort of mocking Robyn, and she doesn't want to be a part of the divorced wives club because at the end of the day, that is not something that she wants. She doesn't want anything to do with Janelle and Christine. I understand how she feels. I understand how she feels betrayed by Janelle, especially if it's true that Janelle was trying to sort of broker this deal with Kody. But at the end of the day, I wish she had sat down with Janelle and actually had an honest conversation. But these women have been so riled up over the years by Kody. He's got them to sort of do his bidding by sort of bringing gossip from one wife to the other and making sure that they don't get along, and then he gets to do whatever they want. Because had these women been aligned, Kody would never have been able to bring in Robyn into the family. But because there was a lot of commotion in the family at that point, this is why he was able to do this. And I think he thrives on the women not getting along. And this is why he started the little sort of story about Meri and Janelle. So then we get to the big elephant in the room, which is who tried to sort of swindle Meri out of her share of Coyote Pass. Meri paid these people. One, she paid with the proceeds from Vegas, and then she paid with the money for this thingy, for the land at Coyote Pass. I've said this before. Kody never forgave Meri for buying the house in Parawan without putting it in the Brown name. And so he was going to do his best to sort of try and take money from her because she wouldn't give him the money. So this story then starts up where we hear that, Janelle was trying to force Kody to sell the house or the land without Meri say so. This is what I think. I think the reason why Janelle sort of pushed Meri to get a lawyer was because she knew that Kody was trying to sell the land from underneath Meri without Meri knowing or without Meri getting a penny. And so this is why he is now saying that, Janelle this, Janelle that. I don't think Kody expected whatever conversations he had with Janelle to go back to Meri. Meri, yes, is upset with Janelle because she feels betrayed by Janelle. But at the end of the day, I have a feeling Kody and Robyn sat down, had a chat, and they decided that if we give Meri something, it's because we feel bad and we have decided to be generous, forgetting that she paid for a third of this land, so she deserved a third back. They only gave her back a quarter. I don't understand how her lawyers didn't fight for more. We are to hear of her getting her money from the sale of McMansion. That's something else. I don't know whether they sold McMansion because they were told to pay Meri back her money and Janelle back her money. That I would love to know. So the idea that we have Kody sort of making it seem like, he has to do every single thing that Janelle asks him to do. No, he doesn't. Otherwise, they wouldn't be divorced. He has got away with doing every single thing that Robyn has sort of instigated or has asked him to do. And now he's making it seem like, Janelle, I loved her. And so anytime she asks me to say or do anything, I just do it because at the end of the day, she is she sort of has this power over me. She doesn't have any power over you, sir. You did this on your own. You decided to want to swindle Meri out of her money and didn't realize that your power over Meri had run out the moment she moved to Parawan, because her community sort of huddled around her and removed the chains that you had put around her to sort of make her feel like she was indebted to you and had to do your bidding all the time. And so suddenly the fact that Meri had a lawyer and told him to go through a lawyer is something he'll never forgive. The fact that Meri bought Parawan and kept it to herself, he'll never forgive. This is why he's sitting there and saying, Meri is very lucky that out of the good graces of myself, Janelle and Robyn, we ended up giving her money from the sale of Coyote Pass. If you don't want to give her money from the sale of Coyote Pass, give her the money she paid you. That's it. Give her the money she paid you, and she will keep it stepping. You'll keep it stepping with your wife. I don't like it, and I don't like how Kody doesn't get as much pushback as Janelle does, because I felt Janelle was sort of cornered instead of saying, "Oh, you were the one who was pushing for the sale. You were the one." No, Janelle, I think, having seen the first sale fall through, decided that the next time they had an offer, she wanted them to take the offer and get her money out, because she even said in a confessional, either give Meri everything she wants, or if you want to force the sale, you can go ahead and force the sale, because Meri had no legal standing. She was only on one parcel of land. I wish Meri has got a lot of evidence from the show. She needs to go back to court and really sue this man for everything he's worth, because he owes her way more than what she got from him, and she deserves it. Anyway, thanks guys for watching. Please don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Click on the link in my video to watch my review from episode 15. Bye guys.